Everybody, today we are going to be making a mold, and I wanted to make sure that it fit my my soap mold, so I'm actually going to use the silicone insert for the mold. So I'm going to make a duo soap, so I'll have a bottom pattern and then I'll pipe something on the top and make a pretty little something or other on top. So today we're using Medlar, and let me show you what that's all about. Alright, so to make the mold, we need our idea for our inspiration. And so today, like I said before, I'm going to make a Medlar, and this is what a Medlar shape looks like. And these are right off my tree. This is a winter fruit. It's very different. Tastes a bit like a date. But for my smoothie soap line, I'm actually going to add some of this paste that I made from it. And it tastes kind of amazing. It definitely tastes like a Medlar. You can't really say it tastes like a date, but it has a bit of the texture of dates. It's like a North American, Canadian, Southern Canadian date tree substitute. It's wonderful. It's naturally sweet. But unlike dates, you do have to add a little more sugar to make it into paste unless you let them ferment long enough on the tree. So that'll be for later when I'm making the soap itself. But today we're going to work on the mold. So let me just set these aside. And I'm just going to pick the best ones. Now it's going to go inside this. I want to make a duo soap, my favorites duo soap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here. And we'll just line it up, just to make sure we've got the right amount of Medlars picked out. Like that one. Do it that way. That's prettier. Get the smoothest skin ones. See, for a Medlar to be ripe, it actually goes through a fermentation process. Bit. There's a tiny one. We're gonna, in order for it to properly ripen, and I will open one up for you to see as soon as I pick the best ones for the mold. Go up, I think. I'll worry about design later, but super duper kind of neat. So those will go inside like that. So let me find a nice soft one. So you'll see how it's kind of soft. Now if you break it open, there's this soft, tasty, oh wow, that's super sweet, meat inside, but they're huge seeds. So it's very difficult to make a paste because you have to boil them up, and first they have to be at least this ripe. You have to boil them up, and I'm just going to set this up here while we work on the mold. So that's what the shapes will look like inside. So you take plain water. And we're going to add some commercial dish cleaning product. I tried my liquid soap, but it didn't react well with the silicone. So about a cup in there. So I'm just going to go grab the silicone. Hold on. Alright, so this is what I'm using. 100% pure silicone. Alright, just from the store. And this is my gun, and you can tell I've used it a lot. It's covered in silicone. Now at the end of your gun, I'll just show you what's there. It's kind of a cool little tool that I didn't know was there. I was trying to poke. There's this tool here, and you poke that inside puncture the membrane because you're going to use the whole thing for a mold this size. Now the neat thing about making this kind of a mold for me is I can now use the mold as an embed creator for any future Medlar projects I might have. Or I can just put it right inside the mold and make it part of the soap. So make it solid soap. So we're going to use all of this. Sorry about the noise, it's kind of loud. Or nearly all of it. Where are we at? Yeah, I think we're going to need it all. If you want to make an apple mold, a mold out of an apple, for example, I made this pear. You have to have enough to get it all the way around, plus some room to pop it out. So with a nice base fruit like that, so we're going to stop there. I think that's probably enough. If not, we'll add more. Just going to set that aside. That's almost all of it. Let me see. See what's going on here. Now it's better to use your hands because it just sticks to the glass. I think I want, well, I don't want the mold too thick. So that should be, we'll give it a little bit more. Let's put some more in there. And when it all starts to come together like that, you know you're nearly ready to put it in the mold. It starts to come together. And it doesn't take very long. This is a really easy project. You don't have to buy molds, especially if you want to make more natural looking products and unique products. If anybody else out there enjoys Medlars or has a tree, please put a comment in the description box and you tell me what you think they taste like. One of my friends described it as kind of like a boozy apple with the texture of a date. It's very interesting fruit and I absolutely adore it. I think it's just awesome. And so I go to all that work. My entire tree makes about a gallon of paste, so and it takes me about 5 days to do it because one day it's boiling it and letting it cool and then mashing it, and then the extraction process takes forever because I have to use a sieve and push it through, and you can't use those apple ones with the pits and everything. So this looks really good, so we're going to take this and set it aside because I'm going to use it for another project. You can use it a couple of times. Now I think I'm just going to steal a mold out of this one. And I'm going to grease it with a little more soap. Alright? So I want it to fit perfectly, but I don't want it to stick or damage these molds because they're like gold to me. I love these molds. They're nice and small so I can create wonderful projects. Put it in evenly. Now, wherever my finger marks are in this soap mold, I'm just going to pipe leaves or little flowers. My idea is to make a Medlar soap with Medlar flowers on top and the fruit on the bottom, and then you can cut the soap in half. I'm going to put this actually in the mold so that it'll fit properly and not be distorted when I go to use it. So we're going to have this one upright. So I'm going to put it like that, and this one down. So I'm going to put it like that. And if it punches through, it really doesn't matter to me right now because my primary purpose for this is for this particular mold. So any of the pieces that don't, I can use as embed molds later. But my, like I said, my purpose for this, for creating this one, is so that I have a Medlar mold, three-dimensional one for the bottom. Put that on its side to make things a little easier for me, because I want to be able to really make enough to share. I'm going to put that sideways. And it's really cool because they do pick up all the detail, which is amazing. So I've got all those in there. See if I can fit another one in. I'll put this one in sideways here. And unlike an embed mold, this one is primary concern is to keep it, give me a lot of three-dimensional space in this mold so that I have a nice mold. All right, so we'll come back in a few minutes and I'll pull them all out. It only takes a few minutes, and then we will make some soap soon. So I'll have it ready to go. This is one of my New Year's resolutions, to finish projects before I can't, and these Medlars are just about done. So until next time, this is Jennifer from Gentle Soaps. I'll be right back. So here we are a few minutes later. The Medlars are in there, the yummy fruit from my garden, and I've got it in the mold. So let's take it out. I'm going to try to, this might be a little bit messy. When you're doing fruit-based molds, sometimes, you know, they can get mushy, especially like candies and stuff. They get kind of mushy on there. You see how easily it's coming apart? These are really durable molds, which is why I really like using this particular medium. Hopefully, be able to get it out. It's kind of nice to see the whole process. Now, it smells like ammonia, so you're really not going to want to use whatever it is that you've had in the mold in anything else. So these will go into the compost. I won't even feed them to my ducks or my other animals because, you know, there might be something poisonous about them. Maybe I'll just dispose of them and not put them in my compost either. I don't know. I'll have to read up about it. If anybody knows if it's harmful, let me know in the comments below, please, or send me an email or a personal message on Facebook. All right, so this is the first step to my Medlar, and I've got my embed. So I can use these to make little flat embeds. So I'm just going to rinse this off. If I want to make more of them and put them on top of the soap, I can do that. Or I can change up the top and make it a little different than the bottom. Or I can leave my top textured without any other embeds. And then I can paint these, which is my plan. I'm just going to use different colors of brown. This is simple. And pipe it. So you're going to try to get all of those little pieces of stuff out. If you don't get them all out, it's really not the end of the world. Because you can always take them out of your soap if they stick in and you don't want them there. Alright, so that's how you make your own flexible silicone molds. And I find these are actually quite durable. I have a few that I've been using for quite a long time. Let me just pull a few of them out. So here's one that I used to make a shell from Victoria's. This is another project that I'm going to finish up. This one's actually from Fossil Beach, so there are some fossils and things in there, and then I put the stone back, so now I have my impression. You can form it around fruit. This is an apple that needs to be painted. Here's a pear that I did in gold that also needs to be painted. So we'll be finishing these projects up in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll get to have them here and you'll be able to watch me do that. Anything that I make on my video is probably available in my shop or available by custom order. I really, really love doing new and original art with my soap. I'm not a big make it over and over again kind of girl, but this will allow me to do that quickly if I need to for a custom order or something. Super, super fun. You could do that with, I'm going to be doing some more of them with candies. I have a candy series coming up. Canadian candies, American candies, Japanese candies. We're going to make some fun soap during the months to come, along that theme with the duo top and bottom soap. So this will go back into my mold. I will pipe it if I want to detail it, or I'll just pour it and then paint it afterward like I did this one. Oh, here's a painted one. So this one is done with the same. This is a Nicole mold, and this is an original mold. This is mine. So all these little gaps and things I can fill in with other types of flowers, or leaves, or whatever I want to do. It's super, super fun. I like the flexibility of making my own. So if you want to make your own molds, just to be more creative and have something that's yours and original and fun, I suggest giving out the silicone to try. You can make it with cornstarch, just mix it as a paste, and that works really good for soap paste, and well, for icing. What's it called? Decorating needs. I mean, a lot of the decorators are using the silicone mixed with cornstarch, but I find that with the soap it actually cracks, so it doesn't have the same flexibility as these molds do, and a little bit of the cornstarch molding medium ends up on your soap, which is not cool, because you don't want chunks of that kind of stuff going actually into your soap. You just want the impression of the realistic whatever it is you're doing, whether you're doing natural projects like this one, and if you have a soft item, say like macarons, and so you make a whole bunch of macarons and you want to do a macaron soap like this, just freeze them so that it's hard, because you need that hard impression for about 5-10 minutes, and then you're set. And then you can just dig it out and clean it out with a little toothbrush or and a little bit of soap, and you're good to go. So that's how I made my custom molds, and this one is for the upcoming Medlar smoothie soap, which will be available in the store pretty soon. So come back and check us out at www.gentlesoaps.com, or click subscribe here at the Jen Spice channel, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.